What's going on, guys? Play-by-play game here, back with another Epic 7 video, and today we're trying out Belian in RTA. So we're actually fighting a Belian on this first one. We're bringing in our boy Straze because Belian is extremely tanky. Plus we have some other tanky units on that side. So the plan here was to do as much damage as we can and then clean up with the SSB. So we're able to deal pretty decent damage. Even though I know they were more than likely going to counter like crazy, that's why we brought in the SSB. And so Rem plus a lot of AoE from the Belian, if she's on counter more than likely, is going to proc the SSB like crazy. So we really don't need tons of damage. We were able to deal a lot of instant damage with the Strays, but again, we're banking on the SSB here because my Strays is pretty squishy, but we do have survivability on him once he goes with the S3. Here, this Kayron can't really touch the Landy or the Strays. He has to go into either the SSB or the Fallen CC, but even if he crits here, I don't think he's gonna kill. If he does, we can still clean up. So as you can see here, Belian counters, and then the SSB just pretty much cleans up house here. So that's kind of one of the downsides with bringing in Belian, is if you pick her early, you're gonna get hard countered, right? And so we're actually able to go up against a full Cleave team on this fight here. And so this one, Cerise goes, it's gonna slow us all down. We don't get any counters off of that. And then this Tomoka, I was wondering who he was going to go on because everyone is pretty tanky. So it's just protect the Rem comp, of course, because that's the only thing right now that we have to go up against Cleave. We're able to get just a little counter there, but we do nothing to that Tomoka. And this Charles, I was thinking that he was going to nuke out the Rem, but we're able to survive. Belian procs Elber's Ritual. We can strip the Tomoka as well. We don't strip the RB. RB barely, almost takes out the Rem. If Rem would have died there, it would have been GG for us. We might have still been able to tank it out because our FCC is on slight damage, and our G-Perg, he's not on insane damage, but he's still able to do decent damage, especially on squishies, right? So the entire team on that side is meant to cleave, to clean up house, but then, Rem is just like, not today, not today. And I mean, Rem is great against Cleave, right? We have to give the thumbs up there because we RNG'd. Well, I don't know if we necessarily RNG'd, but we barely survived that. If that RB would have proc Gab, that's it. That would have been it for us, right? But after that, Belian, I mean, it's just GG. On this next one, this one again, we're going with the attack buff. We're bringing in Belian to try to control. We're wanting the, I guess, the provokes. This one, I don't remember if we ended up getting the win on this one, but their entire team is counter, right? And so Belian can get hard countered by counter units as well. So single target damage, burns. There's another one where we brought her into a carrot, which is insane. But here we do a lot of damage to everyone. I don't know if that Crow was on mitigation, but their entire team was very squishy. And then that Landy crits everyone. Of course it crits my forehead, right? It crits the forehead, and she barely survived that. We're able to take out the RB there. He's gonna come back, take out at least 2 units, but we're still gonna have at least the Belian, which is still really tanky, and the Rem. So pairing Belian with other bruisers is also really good. The one downside about bringing in Belian is that the way that I have her built is damage and tank, right? I have very little effectiveness, so her F-res, she gets controlled very easily. So any kind of debuff is going to land on her 100% of the time. So I guess looking back at it, I think I should have considered bringing in cleansers when I bring her in. But we were trying to, I guess, not get her banned, right? And so we want to bring in units that are going to force a ban on something else. But on this one, we're able to bring in Bryceria. We haven't tried her out in a while. Bryceria plus Straze attack break, is really nice. But I mean, Belian really does nothing here. It was just the Straze. He pretty much just cleans up house here. SSB and Landy, there's not much they can do here. Even though I think that Landy is still a pretty good counter to Belian because she can't get countered right when she has threes. This one here, this is the burn one that I was talking about. And so this one here, it's on both sides, protect the DPS, right? And so right away, we lost this game. And we lost because one, we don't have a cleanser. Two, it's Landy versus Carrot. And so number three, they have Maid Chloe. And so there's no way that we can out sustain the Maid Chloe unless we do insane amounts of damage. Our Belian isn't built to control. So the A-Time one is just going to cleanse everything. They have too much damage mitigation. They have the FCC. They have the healing with the Maid Chloe, attack buff on the Carrot. So all of those things just went against us. And so that's why I mentioned, potentially bringing in a cleanser with her. Otherwise, she just gets controlled super easily. And as you can see here, all of the burns and countering here and then proccing that extra attack is really bad in this instance because we just keep stacking those burns. And so there's really no way that we can win this game. And so you see here, she counters again, but she just stacks 4 burns. So she's gonna, on the next turn, she's instantly gonna die. So yeah, you want to bring in a cleanser if you're going up against, like units with burns or any kind of debuffs. This last fight here, we brought in Senya because Senya is really good. And so I really enjoy playing with Senya, especially now she's got an EE. But I don't know, I think they pair well together. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's the counters, right? It's the counters, the passive with the buffs, and Politis is there to counter the passive of the Senya, but she's very squishy. So it's damage Politis, and Senya just pretty much cleans up, right? Even though she still gets crit like crazy, even though we have the passive to not get crit, she still gets crit. But overall, I think Belian is pretty decent in RTA. I thought the not being able to earn souls passive was going to be insane, maybe like game breaking, but I don't think it is. I think that if you don't normally play with souls and they bring in a Belian, I think you'll be okay if you can't generate souls. I think it's more about just making sure you nuke her out. So bringing in like single target damage or very high damage dealers like a Straze or something to nuke out at least one, potentially even 50% another unit, and then just finish off. Even if you bring tank versus tank, burns like Carrot, controlling the Belian, I think is another possible way for you to really deal with a Belian. But yeah, if they're bringing in like a full control comp plus like DPS, it's very difficult. Like Rem plus Belian, especially if they're both on counter, it's pretty disgusting. But that's going to be it for me. Let me know your thoughts on Belian in RTA. Have you gotten a chance to test her out? We did a couple of tries with her. Like I mentioned, she didn't get banned too much. So I think it's because we tested her out later in the draft, or we tried picking her later in the draft. But let me know what your go-to build is going to be. I think we're just going to leave her here as is. Shu will just have to get some more gear later on down the road, but I'm really enjoying Belian in everywhere, regular arena, RTA, PvE. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, if you happen to enjoy the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.